I never liked purses, I never liked Barbie dolls, you know, and so I was labeled a tomboy. It started to be a problem is when, you know, like, oh, you were a tomboy, but now it's time for you to grow up and be like a lady. I think I used to be scared of using the word feminist before because people convinced me it was anti-men. Now, told that I talk too much, for sure. Jada na bolya kar. You don't need an opinion about this, yeah, for sure. Trust me, I have a Punjabi father, but all of the galis are against women.
Yeah.
So in my future movies, I want to actually make them the opposite. But I was like, Mom, what's a period? And she's like, sit down. So this is my mom's version of the talk. Girls get their periods. And when that happens, if you have sex, you get pregnant. I didn't have sex education really in school, but they don't really teach you anything about consent or like, you know, safety, or it's just about scaring you. TikTok, songs, rappers, porn, yeah. All the places you probably don't want your kids learning from. Exactly. Till this day, parents argue and get their kids out of the class. Even if it's about hygiene. So there's a lot of work to be done in North America as well. The fact that I've had such like intimacy issues and just fear around intimacy is in there. For this movie, I couldn't even say the word sex like I'm saying right now. I would really struggle.
Coming out, how difficult was that as a desi?
Biggest concern was, is India gonna still support me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Lilly Singh and you're watching me on Hauterrfly.
देखिए इन्होंने अपना रास्ता खुद बनाया, भले ही जितनी भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन फेस की. इंटरनेशनल खिलाड़ी ले आए हम लोग मेल फेमिनिस्ट पे. हाय लिली, वेलकम टू द मेल फेमिनिस्ट.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I have to thank people who support us like Sophie, who's a period hygiene partner. We'll come to that. But सबसे पहले ये बताओ, growing up आपको ये बड़ा सुनने में आया होगा that you're a tomboy.
Yeah.
कोई भी लड़की को ये tomboy शब्द क्यों करार किया जाता है? Like how is that label bestowed upon them and what does it make you feel?
You know, when I was younger, I was called a tomboy a lot, and I actually called myself a tomboy a lot because that's just what people called me. And I was like, okay. It had a lot to do with the way I dressed. I wouldn't usually wear tighter clothes. I would wear baggier jeans and bigger t-shirts, not very form-fitting. My interests and hobbies were, for lack of better words, male skewing. So I loved the WWF at the time. I know it's WWE now, but WWF at the time, I loved wrestling.
जब हम बड़े हुए.
Yes, exactly.
90s kids.
Exactly. I love wrestling. I was generally just more sporty as a person. You know, I like wearing my hat backwards, and I was really late to makeup as well compared to most other girls. The way I would sit, even I would sit very, you know, dude, bro. I was very just like, my mannerisms weren't very ladylike to say. I never liked purses. I never liked Barbie dolls, you know, and so I was labeled a tomboy, and it didn't really bother me back then, to be honest. I was like, yeah, I'm a tomboy. It's cool. It's cool. The only time it started to be a problem is when it was described as something I had to grow out of, you know, like, oh, you were a tomboy, but now it's time for you to grow up and be like a lady, like learn how to wear a proper outfit, learn how to like do your makeup and learn how to sit like a lady and do all those things. And so,
what is it? How does one sit like a lady?
Oh, so it's just, I'm gonna have to tell this story. I know. My mom is right there.
Yes.
I'm avoiding eye contact.
Namaste, auntie.
Yes.
I'm also avoiding.
Exactly.
And I'm saying namaste from far away.
So for me, the tomboy thing was really hard when I would go to any family function. Because it's hard to be a tomboy in desi clothes.
Represent desis.
Okay, it's hard. Desi clothes are hard because the options for young girls like wear a suit, wear a lehenga, wear a sari. There was a phase where all my cousins and friends and stuff were wearing saris. And that's really hard to be a tomboy in, you know what I mean? But I remember once I was in the car and my mom would put a sari on me. Obviously, I don't know how to tie one, so she tied it and she pinned it. And I was sitting in the car like this. I was just like this. And she's like, Sari di grace. You're doing the sari di grace hundiya. And from that day, I was like, oh my God, I can't wear a sari again. And you know what? Everyone that says saris, you have to have a grace. We know when you go to the bathroom, that grace disappears because you're just taking, you know. Exactly. So.
सुन लो भाई, मर्दों को ये सब नहीं झेलना पड़ता. मर्दों को कोई आइडिया ही नहीं है कि इन्होंने जो बोला भी क्या है.
Exactly. But I just I take a lot of space. You know, my legs hurt, so I sit like that sometimes. And I like to be comfortable.
And your voice, the pitch has to be a certain way.
I never got a lot about the pitch of the voice, to be honest.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, not really that.
And what about the laughter? Were you ever told to laugh?
I was told that I talk too much, for sure. I was told that I'm too loud sometimes and I talk too much. especially if I like had an opinion about something sometimes, it was like, ज़्यादा ना बोलिया कर. You know what I mean? A little bit like, you don't need an opinion about this. Yeah, for sure.
गर्ल्स, आप लोगों के लिए लिली सिंह अगर इंस्पिरेशन दें तो प्लीज बताना, क्योंकि ये लड़की अब लेट नाइट शो होस्ट करने वाली पहली ब्राउन लड़की बनी. बूम, प्लीज. ये अब मतलब प्रोड्यूसर हैं, पता नहीं क्या क्या करती हैं, एक फंड चलाती हैं. तो लाइक इज देयर एवर यू लुकिंग बैक एट एवरीथिंग यू हर्ड एंड ट्राइंग टू से आई मे हैव चैनलाइज्ड ऑल ऑफ दैट and made it into this empire that you've built?
Listen, when I started making YouTube videos, I didn't have any big idea about like this is going to be my career and I'm going to do this and I'm going to have a business and a production company. I started making YouTube videos because I was lonely, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, because I wanted a community and I felt lost. And when I started making YouTube videos and people were commenting saying, oh my God, I feel the same way and I never thought I would resonate with someone like this, that was a very exciting feeling. I mean, the fact that I called myself Superwoman, a copyrighted name, should have shown people that I clearly didn't think it was going to go anywhere. I have a very addictive personality. And the second it started to go somewhere, I thought, this could be something. I want to put all of my energy and effort into this. And I became obsessed. You know, in 2010, there was not as many stats and analytics as there are now. So I would have manual written down how many subscribers, how many views, which videos did good, what didn't work. I was just obsessed.
Wait, YouTube Analytics as an app didn't exist.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was very retro times we're talking about. And so, but when I saw that people were connecting with me and it could go somewhere, I just put all my eggs in that basket and I was like, I want to do this. So from there, I've written books and started a production company, started a fund, and now I write and act and produce. And I always tell people, I'm not prepared for any part of my career. I'm not trained for any part of my career. I have a degree in psychology, which is basically useless. I was never trained in comedy and writing and acting and anything. Even the business side of things, when I was like learning that I have to get a manager and an agent and an assistant and what is this contract for this brand deal and I had no one to ask. I just had to figure it out.
For all the girls watching, hit subscribe to Hauterrfly. हम लोग भी ऐसी voices को highlight करते हैं. But tell me this, आप WWF की बात की और आप फिर male feminist की बात की, तो I have to connect the two and ask you,
Please.
Is The Rock a male feminist?
I would like to believe The Rock is a feminist. I think Dwayne Johnson is a feminist. I think also not that you need to have a daughter to be a feminist, but I know that he's also very, very keen on being a great dad to his daughter. So I know that also plays a big role. But I would say yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have to believe that. Because
Same,
he's my
so do
hero.
I.
He's my hero. So I have to believe he's a feminist. He's always supported me. He's always from day one. So I'm going to say yes, he's a feminist.
And we'll
We
come
should
to
be whatever Dwayne Johnson is. We should be whatever The Rock is.
100%. देखिए, एक बड़े taboo topic के ऊपर आते हैं, and I'm keeping it Hindi ताकि हम ज़्यादातर लोगों तक पहुंच सके.
That's fine, let's go.
You work with the underprivileged children with the fund, which is the Unicol Island Fund in UP, and भले जितना भी हम periods के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, it remains taboo.
Yeah.
So let's talk periods in association with Sophie.
Favorite subject. Let's go.
Boom.
Let's go.
So did you know we still in various parts of our country end up using the cloth instead of a sanitary napkin?
I did know.
How did you find out and what was that
so
like?
My Unicol Island Fund does work in a lot of places. Mumbai, Bangalore. We actually support an amazing organization that's in Kadapa, which is near Bangalore, in Delhi. But yes, one of our main schools we support is called Pardada Pardadi, which is in UP.
It's called Pardada Pardadi.
Yes.
क्या बात है? Hi everybody from Pardada
Yes,
Pardadi.
it's so lovely. We're actually going to go there in a few days to visit them as well. But I always try to go into the communities when I go to the schools, and I did learn that there's a lot of stigma still around periods, and that actually I was shocked to learn that there's so many hurdles around periods in the sense of in these villages women are still using cloths, and not only are they using cloths, they won't even clean and dry, the cloths properly because they're scared people will see them. So they're not only using cloths, they're using dirty, damp cloths, which lead to a lot of diseases. And so me and my team have been working on a lot of different ways to think of solutions here. One of the things, there's a lot of like really great period underwears. There's a lot of other solutions, but there's still some challenges around, but then they won't hang that underwear up to dry either.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hurdles that I admittedly don't know the solutions to, but I'm just gathering all the information, learning, which is why it's so important for me to come to India and go to these places, because when I'm sitting at home or even in when you're in Mumbai, you can't actually understand until you go there to see what the issues are. And so I did know there's a lot of taboo, and I did know that there's a lot of issues around what they use.
Sophie, you all are watching this, we'll connect you too. And let's hope we can help Pardada Pardadi ki
please.
jitni
And so many
ladkiyan
other schools.
every other brand watching this, please.
I mean, girls miss school all the time. You know what I mean? There's so many illnesses and diseases because of this, and there shouldn't be. This is a natural part, of the body, and we should figure it out. Absolutely.
यार आप बाहर गांव में पढ़ी हो तो आप लोगों के स्कूल में बताया जाता था पीरियड एजुकेशन के बारे में?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to be on a high horse saying North America is. No, we have our own a lot of problems. For example, I didn't have sex education really in school.
No?
I was not really, no.
Not even like they talk about condoms a lot and they tell you
They
diseases.
kind of did that, yes, a little bit. They did that, but not in a way that actually helps kids. I don't think so. I think they scare kids. Health class in high school, but they don't really teach you anything about consent or like, you know, safety, or it's just about scaring you and telling you not to do it. And I don't think that's a good lesson. So there's a lot of work to be done in North America as well.
So who told you about periods?
The first time I learned about a period is my friend called me and she was like, oh my God, guess what? And I was like, what? She's like, I got my period. And I had no idea what it was, but I just pretended because I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I gotta go. I'll call you back, because I was like, I have no idea what to ask you. I have no idea what follow-up questions to say here. And then I went up to my mom and I was like, Mom, what's a period? And my mom, stress. But I was like, Mom, what's a period? And she's like, sit down. So this is my mom's version of the talk that she gave me, okay? It lasted 21 seconds. The talk was, girls get their periods. And when that happens, if you have sex, you get pregnant. Thank you so much. And I was like, thank you so much. I immediately got up, went to the washroom to check if I got my period. That moment, because I was like, this talk has obviously induced my period. I need to go check. And then I became obsessed with checking if I got my period. Every 2 minutes I was checking if I got my period. But I didn't understand anything about periods or sex or the human body or anything for a really, really long time.
Damn.
I know.
फिर कहाँ
I
से?
still don't even completely know everything, to be honest. I'm still figuring it out.
सुन लो भाई, हमको भी नहीं पता, हम भी सीख रहे हैं, हम बातें करते हैं ताकि
Anyone that
लर्न कर
says they have
सकें.
it all figured out is lying. We are all still clueless here and there.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah. Well, another thing I will say is the reason also there's no way we can know this is because women's bodies are so understudied as well. Most of science, most of health, most of medicine is based on men's bodies. You know, and so women's bodies, we don't actually know anything about women's bodies. If we did, women wouldn't have cramps during their periods. If the male body menstruated, I tell you right now, there would be a solution for cramps.
They'd be products.
100%.
It would be a range.
That's what I'm saying. They'd be free.
Yeah.
They would be free. They'd be bedazzled.
Bus stop से ले लो.
Colors, flavors, scents.
आपको
They'd be
दर्द हो रहा है.
everything. 100%.
Yeah, belts. Belts होती cool, AI वाली.
Exactly.
Why not?
100%. But that's not the case. So there's no way we'll know things about women's bodies because historically medicine and health has not cared about women's bodies.
Till 2023, सुन लो भाई, periods के बारे में हमें कितना नहीं पता. Till 2023, they were using a different fluid and not blood to test sanitary napkins.
Did you know there's actually a book about this? This was news to me. I learned this like a year ago. I was sitting down with the doctor, and she was a feminist as well, as all people should be. And she was explaining that periods are actually not supposed to be painful. So a woman's period is not supposed to be painful.
No.
But we've been so convinced and we've normalized cramps, and we have all these medications for women that we've normalized the idea of like, oh, I have my period, so I have cramps, that's normal, I have to take painkillers and take all these things. But actually, if your body is functioning the way it should be functioning, you're not supposed to have cramps. Take that in, women. Every woman watching this right now has been like, what? Because we've all just been like, oh, of course, we have to take time off work, have to miss school, have to take these painkillers, have to walk around with a med bag, like heating pad here, heating tiger bomb here. Yeah, apparently it's not supposed to be like that.
There are experts watching this, please let us know in the comments.
Yes, we need to do more research on women's bodies.
And generally on set, if you've ever got your period, what have you done?
Now I've learned. I will tell you, one of my close friends, one day we're on a trip and she's like, I'm going to teach you how to do this.
There's always that friend.
100%. She's like, I'm going to teach you how to do this. With a cocktail each, she's like, she literally took off her pants and showed me how to do it. And it was the most beautiful moment of sisterhood ever because I didn't know. And she taught me. And I have now taught other friends as well. Yeah. That's just come
As
over,
explicitly.
have a cocktail, and I'm going to show you how this happens, man. I'm going to just show you how this happens.
किसी ने नहीं सोचा था Cosmo, दो लड़कियां,
100%.
hashtag बहनोod.
I'm going to call it like an event.
If you had to create a perfect period kit, what all would it have?
Tiger Balm, because my back is going to hurt. Advil, because I'm going to be in pain. Heating pad, 100%. Some sort of chocolate, because I'm going to want it.
Dark milk.
Ooh,
white.
always a milk chocolate. Yeah. Probably a full cake.
Full cake.
The whole cake.
Akka.
Yeah, not a slice. Not a slice.
Not a slice.
Just the whole cake.
Why not?
That's probably would be my ideal, and probably some tampons and liners. And actually, I will say this, because I feel like a lot of women feel awkward talking about this. I am a huge fan of period underwear as well. I feel like a lot of my friends have been like, isn't that weird? How do you clean it? How do you wash it? It just goes in the washing machine. I'm a huge fan of period underwear. I think they're great. Think about how many wives for how many years and generations have washed their husband's clothes.
Exactly.
So this shouldn't be a thing.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that changes
In
everything.
fact, I saw a really good video online recently of a mother teaching her son. She was doing her laundry and she had like some stuff marked with period blood, and she was teaching her son like there's nothing disgusting about this, and she was teaching him saying in the future if your partner ever has a period leak, like you will not be disgusted by it, you will not shame her for it. It's just normal blood, and I thought that was so awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We have a rapid fire. We'll keep
Hit
it
me.
rapid. We're both like people who give like
Yeah,
longer
yeah.
answers.
He's like,
So-
keep it short. Got it.
No, which
Hit
one
me.
is coming to your rescue when the cramps hit the hardest? Your mom's comforting aloo gobi ya the heating pad?
I'm not gonna lie, the heating pad. I
Okay.
love you, Mom. I love you, and I love your aloo gobi. Let's be really heating pad.
You feel bloated and puffy, but a friend calls you out. Are you showing up in a comfy, oversized Team Super T shirt or cool glam to distract everybody?
Absolutely comfort.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't have my period, comfort. Either across the board. Hello.
When the period rage monster needs to be tamed and you're hitting the gym with an aggressive hip hop playlist or desi Bollywood?
I love both so much, but I'll probably be in my feels, so Bollywood.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Was the one ridiculous, maybe just dramatic excuse you just used to get out when you had a period?
And a dramatic excuse I used when I had my period. I think I just say I have cramps and I'm dying and I need to go. I think I'm just really honest about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you been that always?
No. As a kid, I used to go, my stomach hurts, but just because I ate something. I was really embarrassed to say I had my period when I was younger.
When you can't get comfortable, you're basically building a tower and your like own comfort
like a
space
tent,
on
okay.
like like a tent inside
Okay.
home, or you're just going to brace it and go out.
I'm definitely building a tent in my house, 100%.
Makes
100%,
sense.
yes.
Makes sense. I know the question was a rhetoric.
That's okay.
You know, fortress is
Yeah,
fortress.
100% home.
Yeah. And that's the end of the segment, guys. Thanks to our period hygiene partner SOFY. Please keep supporting them. Have you not seen Thank God It's Me, Margaret? That film?
No.
Oh, bro, you'll trip mental. It's
I'll-
no, that's
I don't
just how
think I
say
will.
it. Yeah, that's how I say
No,
things.
I know.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I need to
No, it's good.
unwire my vocabulary sometimes.
You're all good.
Like desi galis, we use them.
Trust me, I have a Punjabi father.
So
I know all
as
about
the
that
male
life.
feminist, I'm trying to.
Yes. Actually, something
unlearn.
I'm trying to do in some future movies is because you know Punjabis we swear a lot. It's just part of our language. But all of the galis are against
towards
women.
yeah.
So in my future movies, I want to actually make them the opposite. I want to make them
Beep that.
yeah. That's my goal.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Why
do that.
not?
Yeah.
I'll give you random
Even the
insight off
playing
camera
field. Yeah.
about another very, very popular filmmaker who used to invent galis.
Okay. Good. Very good.
Superb. Any relatable life experiences that you ever thought of putting into your work? Because I know that you've taken a lot of your stuff that you've learned on the job as a woman and put it into your content. So was there ever a reflection saying, I'll put this also into my content at any given point?
Yeah, I mean, it's not out in India yet, and I'm working on it, but I just had my first movie release. It's called Doing It. It's a sex comedy. And I am hoping it releases in India, but it'll be challenging for several reasons. But hopefully because of OTT platforms now it'll happen eventually, fingers crossed. But it is basically a sex comedy. I am the lead of it. There's an Indian mother in it. It's told through the desi point of view. It's a commentary on sex ed and how like it's not, because again, even in America, it's not really taught and there's a lot of parents
Really?
against it. Yes, there's a
तो
lot.
वहाँ के बच्चे कहाँ से सीख रहे हैं सेक्स के बारे में फिर?
TikTok, songs, rappers,
Porn.
their friends, porn, yeah. All the places you probably don't want your kids
Exactly.
learning from. Exactly. In fact, actually, when I was writing this movie, one of my first cousins is a teacher. And so I did some research and I was like, tell me about like sex ed. Like she's like, till this day, parents argue and get their kids out of the class. Even if it's about hygiene.
अमेरिका में बोल रहे हो आप इसे?
Canada, America, yeah. Even if it's about hygiene, she goes, parents ask for their kids to not be in the class. It's wild. I'm telling you, it's wild. But anyways, doing it the comedy movie I'm talking about, there's a lot of my own life experience in there. The fact that I didn't learn how to use a tampon until I was really, really old is in there. The fact that I've had such like intimacy issues
yeah.
and just fear around intimacy is in there.
All of us, girl.
All of us, girl. You get it. So that's very much so in the movie. So when I watch that movie, yes, it's a comedy, but it's also just an autobiography. It's just a documentary about my life, honestly.
Take on that.
You know what I mean? So
Thank
that's
you
definitely
for sharing.
Yeah, and it's very vulnerable because it's not comfortable. It's my first lead in a movie, and it has a lot of intimate scenes.
But आप कहाँ से सीख रही थी pleasure के बारे में फिर?
Honestly, this is gonna sound crazy, but I learned so much shooting the movie. So before, of course, I knew things about sex, body, but I will say feeling comfortable talking about things through the movie. It
Hey,
healed
congrats.
so much of my trauma because when you're in it and you're shooting it and you're writing it and you're having meetings about it, talking about it all day long, it really normalized a lot of things. But before this movie, I couldn't even say the word sex like I'm saying right now. I would really struggle.
You couldn't.
I couldn't. I would struggle to say
Really?
at the age of 30 something, I'd still be like, oh, I'm a little uncomfortable, a little weird about this.
Friend circles में तो करते होगे आप लोग.
I was always the one that was still weird about it. When I moved, actually, I'll tell you the story. When I moved from Toronto to LA, so in Toronto, I had all desi friends. All of my friends, for the most part, were Tamil or Punjabi or Gujarati, some form of
Range hai bhai puri.
Exactly. Moved to LA, I was the only brown girl. I remember I did a YouTube collab, and there was a bunch of other, white girls and I was the only brown girl, and I got my period. And I was like, I don't have a pad. And they made fun of me. They were like, a pad? Like, what? And I felt so embarrassed.
But why is this a thing to me?
Because for other cultures and other girls, they're like, we just use tampons. And I had never been taught how to use a tampon. I was scared to death of using a tampon because, girls, desi girls are taught, you use a tampon, your hymen would explode. That's it. You're going to explode into 100 pieces. And so it was a culture shock for me. So for most of my adult life, I felt very awkward about these things. And through doing the movie, I found comfort in being like, no, this is who I am. These are the things I know. And I've just educated myself.
Basically, traditional expectations को beat करना भी बहुत difficult होता है देसी घर में. And you were doing everything different. Apart from the yolk psych degree that you got.
Yes.
How difficult was that for every girl watching? If you can give me 3 tips.
Okay. I get asked this question a lot. Like, what advice do you have for someone that wants to follow in your footsteps? First thing I'll say is don't follow in my footsteps. Be yourself. Do it like you would do it, not how I did it. Don't do it how Lilly did it. Don't do it how Priyanka did it. Do it how you would do it, because Lilly and Priyanka already exist. We need you to do it how you would do it now. I think a lot of girls, and whether you're a girl, teenager, woman, I don't think we're very much so encouraged to chase power. I think we're always taught to be very small and be very humble and be very modest. But I think in today's world, if you are a girl or woman, power is important. Power is what allows you to make your own decisions. Money is what allows you to be independent. So there's nothing wrong with being like, no, I actually want to be in a position of power and I actually want to make my own money, because that's how you have an independent life, and being independent is very important. It doesn't make you anti-men. It doesn't mean you don't need anyone else, but independence and being able to make your own choices is very, very important. And the last thing I will say is, in my life, I always say this, I've only done 2 things consistently for the past 15 years that have gotten me to where I am. And they're very simple. They're not complicated. It's work hard and be nice to people. I think once you start getting any bit of success, there's a million reasons you don't have to be nice to people. There's a million people encouraging you not to be nice to people. Your morals and values get tested. But I think it's so important to be nice to people, because at the end of the day, we all work with people.
Yeah.
We're all doing this with people. And it's people who support us, and it's people who will help us. And working hard is just, listen, you're never going to be so successful where you don't have to work hard. You're never going to reach a point of success where there's no more BS. You're never going to get there. In fact, going back to who we brought up before, the one time I had dinner with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he told me this. He said, any amount of success I've ever had, there's just been a higher level of BS. There's just been another challenge. You'll never get to a place where it's like, now it's all done. I figured out there's no challenge. There'll always be that. You got to keep working hard. And so you have to really love what you do to keep working hard at it. I really believe in my heart, whether it's your career choice, whether it's coming out, whatever it is, who you marry, where you live. I really think for parents, and this is a very mature thing I'm going to say right now, I just think in their heart, they're operating from a place of fear. Yeah. They just want their kid to be okay.
Yeah.
And usually when they're doing these things, like not approving of your career choice or being mad about your choices, they're scared. I want my kid to be okay. And I hope I can be an example of, I am more than okay. My parents have ultimately supported all my choices. Maybe it wasn't immediate, maybe it wasn't super easy, but I'm very successful. I live by myself in LA. Like, you know what I mean? I think we need more examples of that. And I think to any parents watching this, I understand you might be operating from a place of fear because you're scared for your kid, but I'm going to say that the best thing you can do for them is let them do what's right for them, and they will be okay.
That's what. No, thank you so much for sharing. Okay, quick, we'll finish it up and wrap it up with a few standard questions that we have.
Okay.
What is feminism for you, and how often has it changed as a definition?
I think I used to be scared of using the word feminist before because people convinced me it was anti-men. Now, feminism for me should be synonymous with being a human being. Yeah. I think every single person by nature should be a feminist, because that just means that you want every person on the planet, regardless of their gender, to be treated fairly.
Thank you. Yeah. What is financial literacy for you?
Financial literacy is understanding how to make money, how to save money, and having control of your money. And I do believe that if more people, especially women, had financial literacy, the world would be 10,000% better.
Are you bloody as a late night host to get how much ever you wanted on the table?
No.
No.
There's been many projects and things I've done where I've been underpaid for sure. Till this day that will still happen. We're still fighting the good fight.
How did you find out?
I don't need to find out. I'm a woman in late night.
You know.
I just know.
All of Hacks is just playing.
Oh
in
my
mind.
god, that season of Hacks, I struggled to
Really?
watch it because it was very
It was you.
traumatic for me to watch. Yeah, it was too real.
Oh, उसमें भी white woman का बात हो रहा है, उसमें brown woman का बात नहीं हो रहा है।
Exactly.
Shit, but you went through that episode,
I did.
the whole series.
Yeah.
Hacks देख लो जितने लोगों ने नहीं देखा, बहुत brilliant है. What can you tell me about everything that's coming? Because I know season 3 is going to come.
Yes.
And you have like
So I'm
mental
here in
amount of
Mumbai.
guests.
Yes, I'm here in Mumbai. We're on our set right now for Shameless, which is our podcast series with my charity. We're doing bigger guests, deeper conversations, longer chats because the feedback we've gotten is they're not long enough. And I think we get into some real stuff. Everyone I've interviewed thus far has been like, I've not been asked that question. I've not said that before. So I think we're gonna have some good conversations.
Hey, that's so nice
Yeah.
of you. कौन है कोई बता सकते हो कि बड़े
Well, you're gonna have to wait and see. No exclusive here. No exclusive. You're gonna wait and see.
How can people support your fund if they want to watching this content right now?
Well, I think you can support the Shameless, content. It's on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Lilly. You can follow Unicorn Island on Instagram. We post all of the stuff there. You can donate there. You can watch our content there.
Oh, superb. If you had to give a message to your 16-year-old self, 3 cameras aside, that's your camera.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah,
This one that's on. Thank you so much. Because I was like, this is my camera over here. If I had to give a message to my 16-year-old self, I would say stop trying to figure it out. I think I spent a lot of my teenage years trying to figure it out. What I'm going to do in life, who I'm going to marry, what my life is going to look like. You're so convinced at that age that your life is going to follow this linear path. That's not going to happen. Just have fun, experience new things, try things, learn what you like and what you don't like, and just enjoy the journey instead of trying to rush to the destination.
Thank you. Sports teams, anything about that?
Yes, I'm the co-owner of 2 sports teams, LA women's soccer team called Angel City, and I'm really excited about, I'm one of the owners of the Toronto Tempo, which is Canada's first and only WNBA team, and May 2026 is our tip-off, and I'm very excited because women's sports is the way of the
अरे अपनी
future.
देसी लड़कियां वर्ल्ड कप जीत के
Yeah,
आई हैं।
I know.
बस क्या?
You know all about this then.
Any final words on the male feminist?
Any final thoughts would be, listen, I think what you're doing is so important. I really, really mean that.
Thank you.
I know it's scary for some men to use the word feminist and they think that this is not for them, but I actually think I know the world would be a better place for everyone if we just dismantle the patriarchy. For men as well, the world would be a better place. And so
है ना?
I think this is a really important one.
Alright, bye folks. This is me,
Bye.
Siddharth
Thank
Alamban,
you.
signing off on the Male Feminist. Please do not forget to hit like, share and subscribe to our channel. आप लोगों को कैसा लगा प्लीज कमेंट्स में बताना. इंटरनेशनल खिलाड़ी लिली सिंह, उनका पॉडकास्ट जाके देखो. All of her links that she's spoken about are in the description below. I love the woman that she is. Tell me, are you a hugger?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a
Thank you
hugger.
so much.
Yes, oh my
Bye.
God. Bye. You're
Okay.
so lovely.
Hey, thank you.